Rewarding when in right stocks, but brutal when in wrong stocks. Today, we look at some of the biggest wealth destroyers of 2010 to 2020. Now, we are only taking wealth destroyers of this decade and hence are leaving out some of the other notable names like Suzlon, Punj Lloyd and the ADAG pack, which were of course the wealth destroyers of last decade. Look at these stocks: Yes Bank, which has destroyed wealth by 99%, DHFL by 99% as well, Jet Airways 99%, CG Power 99%, Jain Irrigation, Syntex, Balapur Industries, McLeod Russell, everyone destroying wealth by 99%. Now, one look at the shareholding pattern of these companies will reveal a very painful truth, which is that the retail shareholder ends up owning most of this junk while the big players exit when the trouble starts. Let's look at Jain Irrigation shareholding, for example. The promoter's stake is down from 31% to 28%. But look at what mutual funds and FIs have done. Mutual funds down to zero, FIs stake down from well over 50% to 9.7%. The retailers have gone up from here to 55%. That's the same story which plays out in Syntex. From owning only about 8% at the peak, retail now owns 84%. FIs down to zero, mutual funds down to zero, promoters down to 4.6%. Another worthless stock is Built, and it's an action replay. Retailers from 9%, look at how it goes up to 31%. Mutual funds down to zero, FIs down to 3.7%. McLeod Russell, similar story. Retail and promoters, look at promoters coming down, retail moving up to 57%, FIs down to almost nothing, mutual funds down to nothing. So, what are the main factors that led to the wealth destruction in some of these stocks? You will find that the company will fall in any or some or perhaps all of these categories. They include costly acquisitions, mindless diversification, too much debt, intercorporate issues or alleged siphoning, and not adapting to changes in business environment. Let's get into details. The common poison among all these companies is debt. In most cases, the debt burden is so huge that the company cannot even pay the interest from the earnings. Forget about repaying the principal. CG Power last year did EBITDA of 103 crores, but paid an interest of 281 crores. Jain Irrigation made 34 crores at EBITDA level, but paid interest of 688 crores. It's the same across the board. The Avanta Group is a prime example of mindless acquisition or diversification. At its prowess, the Avanta Group was valued at nearly $4 billion. And that's when both CG Power and Built started to buy companies left, right and center. In fact, CG Power made 10 acquisitions and Built also made a large acquisition. Most of these acquisitions were funded via debt and most of them failed to take off. Then there is the issue of intercorporate loans or diversion of funds. McLeod Russell till date remains India's biggest tea company, but is a big wealth destroyer. It's a company where business always remained strong, but one wrong bet of the promoters on McNally Bharat took the entire group down. There was an issue of large intercorporate debt as well of about 2,800 crores, for which the lenders have taken the company to court. And finally, sometimes you just fail to adapt to changing business realities. Syntex is a household name. We see their water tanks everywhere. But they try to create value by demerging plastics and textile business, but both businesses failed miserably. Jain Irrigation was one of India's marquee irrigation companies with some blue chip investors, but somehow could never manage its debt and receivables. This brings me to the most important point. When do you realize that you might be stuck in one of the wealth destroyers, and are there any signs to get out? For starters, one needs to learn to take losses in stocks and cut them off brutally. Look for these signs when it's accompanied by fall in share price. Has there been a royalty or loan to promoter-owned group entities? Is the company facing huge debt and adding to it? Is the promoter selling stake in the market at every interval? Is there a large amount of promoter pledge which is just not being addressed? And finally, are the smart investors, that is FIIs and mutual funds selling, which is being lapped up by retail? Because like it or hate it, some investors will always have an information arbitrage or will be willing to cut the losses and move on. And remember, the first rule in making money in stock market is to not lose your capital, and second rule is to remember rule number 1.